Hey guys, hope you're well. Great to be back in this car, having been without it for 5 weeks. Yes, it is great fun to drive, and I'm enjoying being back behind the wheel for sure. Highly recommended, as I say, when they are working. Now, I am speaking to Porsche UK right now to see if there's any goodwill being without the car for 5 weeks, etc. Yet still having to pay the monthlies on this, so I'll keep you posted on that, see how it goes. I'm probably a bit too easygoing as a customer, to be fair. I don't like too much drama, but the dialogue is going, and I'll keep you posted. But the topic of this video is going to be an update on the Porsche Innodrive system, which I promised I would do a while ago, but unfortunately, being without the car, it was a bit more challenging. It's probably a good 6 months or so since I did the first video on Innodrive and my first thoughts on how it was as a platform. Does it add anything to the driving of the car? Does it make it easier? And as you know, or you may not know if you follow the channel, please do sub, massively appreciated. This car has the adaptive cruise control feature as an option, which is a brilliant feature. I really do use that quite a bit. Even now, we're on a dual carriageway, for example, just put it on, and of course, paying full attention to the road, it just gives you a little bit above and beyond in terms of safety, keeping that radar on the car in front. Should your attention momentarily drift away from the road, which unfortunately it does happen sometimes, of course on a very rare occasion, maybe if there's a squirrel in a tree or something, but just gives you that extra safety net. And the lane keep as well is kind of okay in this, but the Innodrive adds that additional layer, so predicting the road ahead, understanding where roundabouts are, for example, and being able to take you around them. And for the Innodrive, you will need to pay £18 a month for this feature. It's software activated over the air, no additional hardware needed. I believe you need the adaptive cruise control already installed in order to enable the Innodrive. You can't do it if you don't have that option because you're missing that little radome thing on the front of the car, as far as I'm aware. So, how has it been and how often have I used it? One of the most frustrating things about this is, should you want to take your hands off the wheel to maybe make a phone call or play a computer game, use your laptop, maybe even have a nourishing microwave meal. No, absolutely don't do any of those things. But of course, if you should take your hands off the wheel, try this on private land, please. You'd eventually get a warning that you need to put your hands on the wheel, as of course all of these systems have had for donkey's years, because autonomous driving is not yet fully approved. There's no cars, as I understand, in the UK, in UK law, that will allow you to take your hands off the wheel, basically self-driving cars. And there's 4 levels of autonomous driving, I think. Hands off, eyes off, brain off, etc., that kind of thing. I think you should be able to, but only in very specific circumstances. And that is, for example, if you're stuck in kind of stationary, slow-moving traffic jam on a motorway, when the only options are really go, stop, go, stop. You should be able to take your hands off the wheel then and let the car just navigate that, of course, up to, for example, a certain speed, maybe 5 miles an hour or something. You know, so it's all very safe, very controlled, no risk of the car deviating or going off at 100 miles an hour. But of course, it doesn't let you do that at all. Now, I was in the iX, and the iX that I was in would seem to let you do that. It wouldn't be so fussy about a lot of weight on the steering wheel if you were in stop-start traffic. Above a certain speed, of course, it made sure that you had your hands on the wheel. The Taycan doesn't seem to want to do that. How is it on the lane keeping side of things? Well, honestly, I don't think it's very good. It kind of drifts in the lane a little bit, you know, helping you to steer with light touch on the wheel, right? So you've got control of that car. But I tend to find that it drifts from side to side on the lane that it's trying to keep you in, right? Which for me is really not an ideal situation. It makes you look like you're not driving very well, especially the car behind maybe thinking, have they perhaps been on the sauce or something? But it really doesn't do too good a job there. That iX I had seemed to do a much better job. Also, I had a Volvo XC90 for a while with lane keep assist, and that did a brilliant job of staying consistently in the middle of the lane without that kind of constant hunting for each side of the lane. And you tend to find that the Taycan is continually weaving in a kind of weird way. It just doesn't really inspire confidence in you that it knows exactly where you are in the lane that you're supposed to be in, which is a far from ideal situation. So that part I can't recommend really either as the Innodrive. Now, where the Taycan does very well, I think, is in the braking. It has missed completely though on a couple of occasions, but when it's got it, it's brilliantly smooth at coming to a stop. Couldn't say the same for the iX and also the XC90, which seemed to leave it far too late before realizing that you had to stop. So it wasn't a comfortable, smooth experience for yourself and for any passengers, kind of not really giving you the confidence that it's fully realized there's a car in front. And that was consistently, but the Taycan is really good in this aspect, coming to a nice, smooth, well-anticipated stop, provided it can see the car in front. Now, another problem you'll get as well in bad or inclement weather is that sensor issue, so the camera not being able to see properly what's going on, and also just not really fully unleashing the feature of the car. It will just say that the lane keep or emergency stop is inactive, and you just can't use it. So not really an ideal situation there. So could I recommend getting Porsche Innodrive? So that stop-start capability, the coming to a gradual stop, doing that smoothly, you get that anyway with Porsche Adaptive Cruise Control, right? And you get some light lane keep assist as well. And the key question to ask here, does the Innodrive function really add anything more to the driving experience? And I can't say it does. I can't say it's worth £5 a month, if that, let alone £18 a month. For sure, if it did a lot more, if it allowed a little bit more autonomy, safely and securely, I need to add for legal reasons, of course, then brilliant. But it just doesn't seem to unleash anything new, anything exciting. Tells you there's a roundabout coming up, and yeah, it can kind of get you around it very slowly indeed, but I just don't think it adds any more. The adaptive cruise control is a godsend, especially if you're stuck in traffic consistently. If your route is a busy one on motorways, you're often looking at a traffic jam. Make sure you spec that anyway, but that's a standard option, a one-off cost at the start of ownership of this car, or get one used, as I always say, that has that option on it. Do not pay the subscription for Innodrive. Now, get the 3 months for free and give it a whirl and see if it adds anything. I'm pretty confident, though, when I say that it won't do anything above and beyond what you've got with the adaptive cruise control in your day-to-day driving. It's too fussy, it deviates all over the road anyway, which you get with that adaptive cruise control lane keep. So just, yeah, for me, it doesn't really do anything else. So I cannot recommend it, unfortunately. Now, I have had it running now for 3 months of subscription, and I feel like I've just kind of honestly wasted that money that I've spent on the 3 months. It's had the 3 months free and then 3 months additional, and yeah, it's kind of something that I've just not really used above and beyond that adaptive. So the result of this is I cannot recommend Porsche Innodrive. I think it's got a long way to go to be worth £18 a month in terms of what it provides you with. So I'm off now to cancel my Porsche Innodrive subscription. And that's it for this one. Do stay safe, stay well, see you on the next one, and bye for now.